Last time we were investigating that fucking gilded demon. Husani got a lap dance.
Nice.
Lap dance.
Oh yeah, Anacrusis met Travis the cultist.
Yes, Travis the cultist.
Anidori stabbed Farron in the back.
We're not there yet.
It happened.
It did.
I cried.
We all did. Anidori went to go talk to another cultist who she didn't know was a cultist. Anacrusis went to also go talk to a dancer, and Lydian went to go talk to the fat nasty guy.
Mm-hmm.
And frightened him, if I remember correctly.
Lydian
Yes.
threatened him with bodily harm.
I wrecked him.
Yes. And then Lydian was found by the Gilded Devil, and Husani saw this and was like, "Oh dear," and pointed Farron and pointed Farron in the correct direction, and I saw Farron and was like, "Oh shit," and Anacrusis was like, "What the fuck is going on, my dudes?"
What the fuck is going on?
Yes, exactly.
That's definitely where my brain went.
I don't know what that is.
Continue.
Okay, continuing. Yeah, and then the Gilded Devil tried to dominate Lydian, but he succeeded on his save.
Like some people.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for that, Tate.
Some people failed to save and stabbed the beaniest bean in the back.
Yeah.
Some of us hate our dice.
My notes literally say, "Not my cinnamon roll, you bitch."
Cinnamon roll, you bitch.
So yeah, Anidori got dominated and stabbed Farron in the back. That was really fucking fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure you loved it.
Play to the hilt, kids, because Tate hates me.
Straight.
Yeah.
Teammate, do it right.
Gilded Devil escaped. It took y'all hitting me a bunch of times for me to finally snap out of it.
I killed lots of people.
That you did.
And set things on fire.
That you did.
And do all
Yeah,
these
I'm
things
pretty
often.
sure your fire was the thing that finally snapped me out of it.
I'm pretty sure at some point, I'm pretty sure like I punched you and or I hit you with a blunt object, and that was how where we went.
Correct.
No, it was me vampiric touching you.
Oh,
Which
that's
snapped you
right.
But we all did hit you a lot.
Yes.
I didn't kill a single fucking thing and got a sheep mask because of it.
Yeah. Well, you healed Farron.
Well, that's not killing anybody. That's literally the opposite.
I thought you said I didn't do a single fucking thing.
No, I said I didn't kill a single fucking thing.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the word kill. I assumed you said do. Anyway. Yeah, no, we went back to the college. Cause we were like, shit, this sucks. Things were relatively fine until the morning when Zariel beat the shit out of Godric.
Yeah, he did.
He definitely did do that.
Yeah, he definitely did.
And I got pissed.
Yeah.
And stabbed him in the back, and he also beat the shit out of me. Not as badly, but I'm walking around at... What?
I said 1 punch.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I'm walking around at 10 hit points.
We forgot about that.
Yeah, but like I cleaned myself up, so like y'all don't really know that I'm walking around at 10 hit points, so it's fine.
Is it?
Yeah,
is it though? It seems like it's the exact opposite of fine.
It's fine. Yeah, no, that'll probably come back to bite me in the ass later, but
I mean, as long as you rest.
yeah.
I can also heal you.
None of you know that I'm injured. I cleaned myself up.
Well, then tell us that you're injured.
Who do you think I am?
Someone who doesn't want to walk around with 10 hit points.
What does this look like to you?
Anyway, after that fiasco, Husani was hanging out with Xerix, and
And Lydian
Xerix-
was there at some point after he got out of class.
Lydian took a class on the politics of magic.
Yeah.
Xerix went fucking nuts, as he's prone to.
Yep.
Poor dude.
Baldwin pulled Husani and Lydian out of the circle, but got in the process.
Yeah.
Um,
Got son.
yeah. Husani snapped at Baldwin because it'd be that way.
Mm-hmm.
Lydian was also not super happy with Baldwin, but I know you said he's writing an apology letter.
Yeah, I need to retcon that.
Husani snapped at Lydian because Lydian still owned Anidori's soul. Lydian was like, "Why are you mad at me?" Husani went down to lunch while Lydian went down to go sulk, I think.
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
I went to go find Farron, I believe. Find Farron and sulk.
No, that wasn't.
Anidori went to go find Farron eventually, but you
I
know,
just, like, watched that.
No.
We spend a lot of time trying to find Farron.
yeah. I was at lunch with Anacrusis and Godric.
Mm-hmm. And Zariel was there.
Yes, and it was not fun. And then Husani came down and was mad.
Then you,
Oh, wait,
Lydian,
no.
what happened was Lydian came down, and Lydian was mad.
Right.
And then Lydian and then like Anidori was like, I'm gonna go see
Husani.
Husani, and Husani was having an emotional breakdown, and that was when Husani was like talked to Anidori about the whole soul thing, and was like, why aren't you pissed about this? And also I would be very, very big upset.
Do you want a hug? What is a hug? That was cute. And then I went to go talk to Lydian, I think, about the soul thing.
Yes.
And it tackled him,
As one does.
as one does. And that was cathartic for both of us.
Mhm.
And Lydian gave me my soul back. And then I went to go talk to Farron to properly apologize. And he gave me a ring that has +2 against being charmed.
Yes.
Yay.
What a good egg.
I know, I love him. And then went down to go finish up lunch. Husani was there, yay. Lydian was not there. And asked Husani if they would fight Zariel. So that's where we are currently.
That's where we are currently.
And then we went. Well, then Husani did go and challenge Zariel, and then now
Yeah.
we're down in the pit or
Getting geared up.
Yeah, okay. So, you all go ahead and you walk together down to the pit, and you enter back into the rather large arena that you guys consistently seem to be visiting now, though not utilizing. And you make your way down. You can see that Zariel's already down there with what looks like 2 other very jock-looking individuals.
Does that make us the goth nerds?
God, absolutely.
Yeah. And Godric has followed you guys. And when you go ahead and you enter, Zariel spots all of you, smiles and waves. Then he points to Godric and gestures for him to come over. And Godric just kind of like looks at all of you and then slowly begins to make his way over towards Zariel.
I'm giving Zariel a hard look. Like, you touch him, there will be problems.
All right.
I wave back when he waves.
Nice. So Godric goes ahead and he heads over, and you can see from where you guys are standing, Zariel seems to be in a rather friendly mood, just sort of joking around with Godric. After probably a minute and a half of talking, Godric's like rather defensive posture that he had when making his way over has dropped, and he's a little bit more. I wouldn't say that he is being friendly with Zariel, but he's not like off-put by Zariel at the current moment. And you can see that him and Zariel just talking, sort of laughing, and then eventually Godric turns and he walks away and he starts heading back to all of you. While you guys were getting ready, you could see that Zariel in this process had been taking all of his equipment and setting it down to the side and replacing it with wooden versions of it. He takes a bow staff, a very large bow staff, probably 6 to 7 feet long, at least as tall as him, if not longer. That is what appears to be probably ebony that is engraved with a multitude of different runes. And he sets it off to one side, and he picks up a wooden bow staff. He also takes what appears to be a talisman off and sets it next to the bow staff, as well as a rope belt that he undoes, sets it off next to the bow staff, and then finally a ring that he takes off and sets next to all of his belongings. And with that, he begins wrapping his hands and his feet and walks into the pit.
He's gonna fight me bare knuckle, and I'm gonna get my ass beat.
He has a wooden bow staff, but not the bow staff he was carrying.
Okay. Husani goes to the wall and well, actually, Husani stops first at Anidori and starts taking off their bracelets and earrings that give them enchantments and such, and puts them in Anidori's hands and looks keeps their hands on Anidori and goes, "I trust you, but also don't lose these."
All right. So are you making your way into the pit, I assume?
Yep, I exchange all my I exchange all my weapons for wooden ones. Scimitars, javelins.
What wooden weapons do you take?
I exchanged my 2 scimitars for wooden scimitars, and my 2 hand axes.
Okay. So you're keeping your regular javelins?
You have to exchange everything, right?
Yeah, you'd have to exchange anything that you're using in the pit.
I'll take 1 wooden javelin, but I leave the rest.
Okay.
I don't think I'm really going to use it.
Well, it is a very decently large pit. So if Zariel ever decides to, let's say, run away from you.
Good joke.
I'll take the 1 javelin.
Okay. And 1 wooden javelin. So as you begin stepping down into the pit, Godric walks up behind you and he stops you. He grabs you by the shoulder, sort of reaching up to grab you. And he pulls you down within whispering range and he goes, "I want you to fucking destroy him." He smiles and he goes, "And I wish that I could stay and watch, but I've got business in town. So best of luck." And he sort of awkwardly gets a little closer to you, but then like he puts his hand up like this, and you can see that this is actually a greeting that people use in Kane, where they put your hand up like this, and your other hand meets theirs like that, and that's like a greeting in Kane, a warrior's greeting.
I give him a big toothy grin. I'll do my very best, Godric. And I return the greeting.
All right.
Do the-
Oh, what a good bean.
I love my boyfriend.
He turns and walks over to you, Anidori, and he walks up, grabs you by half of your face, plants a kiss on your forehead, and he goes, "Find me in town after all this is done. I want to know how this goes."
You got it. Where should I look for you?
Check the marketplace. I'm not sure where I'll be, but I'll end up there eventually.
Sounds good.
And he leaves the arena, shooting Zariel one last glare. So you go ahead and you step down into the pit, and Zariel walks into the middle of the pit, waiting there expectantly.
I walk over to meet him.
Okay. He puts out a hand as to like shake it.
Husani eyes him warily, but reaches out slowly and takes his hand to shake it.
Okay. He shakes it, and then he sort of pulls himself a little bit closer to you, clasping onto one of your shoulders. And you hear him, though he is smiling and his mouth doesn't move, you hear in the back of your head, "I'm gonna fucking destroy you."
Good.
To which he lets go, again, still smiling, and he backs away from you, probably 15-ish feet, before finally stopping and again waiting expectantly for you.
Oh,
He's got
God.
bow staff out and he's ready.
I'm gonna fucking get my ass beat. Did someone remember to grab Bogo?
I mean, Bogo's around, right?
You better be prepared to go sprint and get him.
Bogo is not currently in the area, though you remember last time you also didn't see him in the area when he saved Godric.
Okay.
Though you don't know because you haven't checked.
Okay, I'm gonna go scout for Bogo real quick just before this starts.
Nah,
Okay.
you wouldn't. I mean, I brought it up out of character. How would you know? And how would you know if you're hoping that I'm gonna kick his ass?
I mean, I'm hoping but that doesn't mean that I'm not prepared. And also, if you kick Zariel's ass, then Zariel will need Bogo.
True.
Yes.
I'm
So
not gonna kick Zariel's
you-
ass.
Bogo was kind of staying in the locker room. You go ahead and you walk in, look around. He's not in there.
Okay.
Doesn't appear that this is a fight that is known about to the teachers.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing an unsanctioned brawl. Great.
I'm
Someone's
gonna
get my ass for
message
fighting.
Anacrusis from the locker room and be like, are you stocked up on spell slots?
Yes, I actually am.
Okay. I hope you're prepared to heal while I run and get Bogo if anything happens.
All right.
And then I come back out from the locker rooms and chill to watch.
Okay. Do you take your 15 paces away from Zariel?
Yes, I do.
Okay. As soon as you reach that area, he sort of takes the bow staff, holds it in both of his hands, and over his shoulder, he looks at the two more jockey-looking guys, and he goes, "How about you two dim the lights?" And he looks back and he looks over to you, Husani, and he goes, "'Cause this is about to get intimate."
About to get what?
Intimate.
Oh God.
Ew.
So you see them put out about half the torches. The room is now dimly lit.
I have dark vision, so
Mhm.
that doesn't affect me. Husani draws their swords and rolls their neck. I think
Alright.
that you are clearly strong, but I think that you overestimate both your appeal and perhaps underestimate my capabilities as well.
You see him just smirk at you. And he says, "We'll see about that. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Bitch.
Come on, baby. I really need a really good initiative. If he gets first hit, we're already on the well path to being fucked. Alright.
It didn't go well, did it?
Didn't go. Yeah, it didn't go well.
What'd you get?
And then it's plus dexterity, so it's 14.
14. 23.
Oops.
So you see him. He takes the bow staff, and he holds it in both of his hands. And you see him like kind of get down into a defensive position, and then with an incredible flurry of movement, he moves backwards about 45 feet. You can see that the shadows of the room are now somehow coalescing around him. But it is your turn now.
Oh, good.
Jordan, you're just like, oh no. You should probably rage.
Really? I hadn't guessed. I've been trying to kind of plan a strategy for this, and nothing really sounds great. Husani growls and crouches and sets and goes into rage. And I'm going to... Is the pit made of sand?
Yes, the bottom of the pit is made of sand.
So I get my speed increases to 45 feet when on sand.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So I dash towards him.
So you go ahead and you get within melee? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Because you won't be able to hit him if you get within melee. You'll just be standing there.
Oh. Never mind. I heft that I'm gonna roll to throw my javelin.
Okay. Are you moving any closer, or are you still standing 75 feet away from him?
75 feet. If I have the distance, can I still make that throw?
If you move your movement, the throw will be made without disadvantage.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So go ahead and roll.
And that's add dexterity. Then that's a 13.
13. You go ahead and you chuck the javelin, and he spins the staff in his hands, raises above his head, and he just baseball bats the javelin out of the air.
Motherfucker.
Now his turn. You begin to run forward, and the shadows move around him as if they're like streamlining off of him. He gets within 10 feet of you, and he just disappears. You can all see that Zariel at this point, everyone other than Husani can see that Zariel at this point has now reappeared 10 feet behind Husani.
Oh no!
Full force brings the bow staff up above his head and brings it straight down towards Husani.
This motherfucker.
That would be 26 to hit.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna keep this open. Oh no, this is how it goes. Please, dice, I need some good rolls today.
I'm sending you good rolls.
Pray for me.
You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 6. And then you are now aware of his presence, but he goes ahead and he tries to take another strike. That's a 20, not natural to hit.
My AC is 17, so yeah.
Great. You take another 8 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 4.
So 10 total.
Yes.
That's not awful to start.
Yeah.
No, especially when my health is pretty decent.
Yes.
Okay.
With that, you see that odd shadow something happen again, and he disappears from right in front of you and reappears about 15 feet away from you, not involving you in attack of opportunity.
I didn't know I was fighting fucking Nightcrawler.
I didn't know either. This bitch didn't use that.
At this point, Anidori and Anacrusis can both go ahead and make a history check.
Okay, I would like it if my dice stayed on. Oh, that's a 4.
Okay.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
If he
Um,
steps into within 10 feet of range of me, he takes 2 fire damage.
It doesn't appear that seems to be affecting him too much.
Motherfucker.
It lit some of his clothes up just a little bit, but it's not like it's burning him alive or something.
Okay.
But Anacrusis, you have heard of this weird shadow magic before. There used to be tribes outside Darkos that would live in the forests, which, based on what you know about the forests of Darkos, is nearly suicide. However, they lived out there for quite a long time, but if you remember properly, their story ended with a massacre of their tribe, with no survivors.
Oh. I don't say anything. I just widen my eyes a little bit, but keep watching.
All right. That then brings it to your turn, Husani.
He's 15 feet away from me now, right?
He is.
I turn to move into melee range.
All right. So you move into melee range.
And I'm going to try to strike twice with my scimitars.
All right, go ahead. I think you can strike 3 times, once with a bonus action.
I think because I don't have dual wielding, it is my extra action is. Oh no, you're right.
Because the fact that you don't have dual wielding, you don't add your ability score modifier to the damage roll. It would just be a straight D6 for the third attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which just means that you have to keep track of which ones are hitting and which ones aren't.
Okay. And that's a 14, 16, and a 20. Non-natural 20.
Are those the totals?
Yeah.
Okay. The 14 and the 16 both miss, but the 20 hits. Seeing as that was your last strike, go ahead and roll a d6.
Six damage.
6 damage? All right. And remember, that's the one without the ability score modifier.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the rage, and that I still add rage.
Yeah.
That's
still add.
So then that's 8.
8? All right. So you go ahead and you run up. The first strike, you go ahead and you swing, and he ducks underneath of it. The second one, you swing towards where he ducked to, and he just moves with that shadow magic, just back about 5 feet. But with that, you just get so fucking frustrated that you go into like this dervish strike where you just you essentially do like a somersault, purposefully missing the first attack so that he'll dodge it, then waiting for where he'll be, and with your second strike coming from up in the air, it slashes across his body, and you see that it hits him pretty hard against the jaw.
Yay! I did it. That's...
To which it goes back to Zariel's turn.
Husani has nothing to say and is only like obviously fiercely determined.
If you're lucky, he still has the 16 damage I did to him this morning.
I am not that lucky.
16 damage. No.
When I stabbed him.
Yeah, no, he would have gone back and healed that.
Sour.
But he goes ahead and he takes his bow staff and unleashes as much as he can do, that is. 2 19s for his bow staff strikes.
Those hit.
Okay. With both of those strikes, you take a total of 25 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to
12.
12. Thank you. Halved to 12. And then he's going to go ahead. Go ahead and make a con save.
That doesn't sound good.
That's a 17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. He goes ahead and you saw this in his fight with Godric. He takes the bow staff and he shoves it into your nose, and then he takes it and he brings it towards your diaphragm, trying to wind you, but you move out of the way. To which he goes ahead and he's going to use his flurry of blows.
Motherfucker. Fucking monks.
Fucking monks.
Oh yeah.
A 28 and a 22.
Oh my god.
I rolled below a 10 in this whole fight. I'm so sorry.
Meanwhile, my fucking boss fight in my one session, none of us rolled above a 10.
Is 28 and 22 the damage, or that's your rolls to hit?
That's to hit.
Yeah, those definitely those land.
You take a total of 15 points of bludgeoning damage. Have to
7.
7. Sorry, I don't math.
I don't math either. Why am I mathing?
I don't know. Why are you mathing? But he goes ahead and he attempts the strike at your diaphragm, and you move out of the way. To which, when you do, he just puts the bow staff into the ground, and he uses it as like a pole to vault straight into you, planting both of his feet in the middle of your chest. You don't lose balance, but he does hit you pretty hard. It is now your turn.
All right. I'm gonna roll to do the three scimitar strikes against him again.
All right, go ahead.
You good, Jordan?
I'm contemplating something actually. Is the everything is made of wood, right?
Everything's made of wood.
Oh!
I'm gonna roll the first 2 strikes to strike him with the scimitar, and the third attack I'm going to try to rip the stave out of his hands.
If you use the grapple action, that is not technically a damaging attack. So that would replace your action, but you could still do a bonus action attack. That's typically how I rule that, because grappling is an action, but I don't like that it's not considered an attack. But you can attempt to grapple him to take the bow staff out of his hands if you'd like. If you succeed on the grapple, you would take the bow staff.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
I thought you were gonna try and set it on fire.
I can't set it. I can't set it on fire until he no longer is holding it.
Oh.
So as an action. So could I potentially grapple it out of his hands and set it on fire?
You could.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
I believe in you.
Please. Natural 20!
Yeah!
Okay, so he goes ahead and he takes the bow staff and he launches his body towards you. Then he takes it and he puts it up in the air. As you do, you just sheath one of your scimitars and you grab it and you yank it from his hands, to which you just hold it behind you as it just burns to cinders.
Yeah!
That was pretty cool, but I feel like it's only going to give me a minor advantage.
Are you taking that extra attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
I roll to slice him with my remaining scimitar.
Okay.
Slice and dice.
And that is a 21.
21 hits. Go ahead and roll a d6 and add only your rage bonus.
3.
3. All right.
I'm gonna slice. I'm gonna dice. Boom, 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 boom.
Sorry. So, it is now Zariel's turn again. Zariel being disarmed, he only looks concerned for about half a second, and that was because of the fact that he was surprised that you just yanked it from his grip so effectively. But you see him go back onto his hindquarters, hindquarters, and do the exact same thing that he did to Godric, where he launched himself towards Godric, and he's now making an attack against you.
Oh dear.
I wasn't there for Husani was not there for the fight with Godric too.
Oh, you weren't?
Mm.
No, it was just Anidori.
So then those comments are for the people, would be for Anidori.
Yeah.
That is a 13 and a 15.
Neither of those hit.
Okay. He goes ahead and he lunges for you. And you can see now that he's extended his claws and he rips towards you. And you just barely duck out of the way of one of them. But the second one, he sort of runs towards you again, and you kind of grab his arm and force him out of your way, to which you see him after that. He returned to that puff of shadow, and he appears about 30 feet away from you. Then you see him just begin to backtrack, and he's now about 60 or 70 feet away from you at this point.
I hate this teleporting bullshit. I heft one of the hand axes into the free hand that no longer has a scimitar. And I move to halve the distance and throw it.
Okay, go ahead and chuck it.
$20 again. Unnatural 20.
20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
9.
9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see the hand axe was going straight towards his face at this moment, and it shoom, shoom, shoom through the air until you see Zariel. As soon as you throw it, Zariel like took up this position, and as soon as it gets close enough, he just, and he's now holding it in his hand, and he just as he takes it and he snaps the shaft of it, and he throws it on the ground.
Fucking monks. Fucking monks.
That was pretty handy.
His demeanor has not changed. He still looks like he's in the middle of a heated battle.
Husani is like focused, but is like grinning because it's like for them it's like it's a spar. It's not like a life or death battle. I'm having a pretty great time actually.
So don't stop me, cause I'm
having a good time. Having a good time.
What happens? So my health is doubled when I rage. What happens when I unrage and I have taken more damage than my regular HP?
Oh no! Your health is not doubled. It's just effectively doubled because you have resistance to bludgeoning.
That makes sense. Okay. I was like, how does that even work?
No.
Don't look at me.
That would be an interesting concept. But are you another attack? You can throw another hatchet.
That doesn't seem to be doing much. But yeah, I'll throw a second hatchet.
Okay.
Testing it. That's not what's gonna hit. That's a 15.
15 does not hit. He essentially does the same maneuver, but instead of grabbing it, he just sort of parries it out of the air, not allowing it to hit him.
Okay.
And that brings it back to Zariel's turn. You see him begin to run up towards you again, the shadow streamlining, to which he disappears from view. You instinctively turn around because you're just like, oh, I know exactly where this fucker went. He's not there. And then you get clobbered in the side of the head.
Aww.
19 to hit on that one?
Yep.
Okay. You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, half to 5, and then he takes a second strike. Which misses. So he disappears from view. You turn around, and you are essentially punched straight in the temple, and you're knocked away. And as soon as your vision clears, all that you see is Zariel standing in front of you, and he goes,
motherfucker.
Oh, your turn.
Husani gives a wide tooth-filled grin and rolls to pulls their second scimitar again and goes to attack with both.
All right, go ahead.
17. Natural 20.
All right.
So that's one crit on that second one, and the third is 18.
All right. All 3 hit.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and roll damage for all those.
Okay. What is the crit? What was crit again? You just get an advantage on your die.
Roll double die.
Roll a double die.
Yeah. So you're gonna roll 1d6 plus your dex or strength plus your rage for the first one. Then for the crit, it would be 2d6 plus your dex or strength plus your rage.
Okay. So the first roll, the non-crit roll is a 12.
Okay.
The crit roll is a 15.
15. Okay.
And the third attack is only add the rage modifier.
You only add the rage modifier.
Okay, and the last one is a 3.
So
that was 12, 15, and 3.
So 30 damage total.
Jesus.
This is why I am the tank.
So you go ahead and you run up. You go ahead and you slash, and then you slash again, and then you finally just take your fist and you punch him right in the face. To which he sort of backs up a little bit and regains his composure. But he doesn't look happy. It is now his turn, and you see him sort of narrow his eyes at you. He's going to go ahead and he's going to take his strikes. First one misses. The second one hits. And you take a total of 14 bludgeoning, halved to 7. And I need you to make another con save.
Uh, 16.
16. Okay, you succeed again. You see him strike once across your face, then he goes into this odd position where he does like that. Again,
He doesn't have his staff anymore.
Correct. Yeah, I know, he just punches towards I've been keeping track of that, don't worry.
Tate's been keeping track.
I thought that was like a staff jab, not...
No. And you slink just out of the way. It still hits, but not where he was intending. Which is going to go ahead and... you see him at this point now rear back in like a defensive position, where he looks. He kind of takes up a position that you can tell like he's ready to parry attacks. Like he's not going on the offensive at the moment. And it is now your turn. Your attacks for this round are advantage. Because he's taken the dodge action.
I'm doing way better than I thought I would.
You're doing way better than I thought you would too.
What's your health at right now?
33.
33?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm halfway there.
We're halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
That's what I'm looking on right now. So disadvantage means I roll.
You roll twice and take the lower.
Okay. So I'm going to roll 3 times to attack with my roll 3 scimitar attacks.
All right, go ahead.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
First one is 9.
Okay.
Rip.
Uh, 21 is the second one.
Okay.
Oh no. And 8 is the last one.
All right. So the 21 does hit. Go ahead and roll the damage on that one.
8.
8?
Mm-hmm.
All right. He now officially looks bloodied.
Hey!
Shit, man, you might actually win this.
No, I'm not
You
going.
take the first strike towards him, parries it out of the way. The second strike, you sort of catch him on his arm, and you can see that instead of like parrying it with his hands, he was forced to block it with his forearm. But it seems to do a pretty decent amount of damage. The third attack, he just sort of brings his head back far enough that it just passes straight in front of his eyes.
Oh.
And it is now his turn again. Hold on.
Ow.
All right. So, first strike, he seems a little dazed at the moment. The first strike swings, misses, knocked off balance. Second strike, a wide kick that misses by about a foot. And he stands there and he sort of looks like you've knocked him like off kilter just enough. And then all of a sudden, he just regains composure and puts one fist straight into your nose.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Takes
My
25
nose.
points of damage.
I
he
take
booped the
what?
snoot.
25 points of damage, halved to 13.
I was like,
Jesus.
Half
It
to
appears-
12 if you're rounding down.
Or yeah, halved to 12, sorry. It appears that the first two strikes were more of a way of baiting you into putting your guard down for a second. He missed the first two strikes, but crit on the third.
oh my God.
He booped the snoot real hard.
I will boop his snoot
So at
Just
21,
one
even harder.
at 21, I'm
single
starting to look.
punch.
I'm probably starting to look a little bloodied, right?
What's your max hit points?
74,
74. And what hit points are you at right now?
21.
21. Yeah, you've been bloodied for a while.
My nose is bleeding real bad, guys.
If you have 74 hit points, you are bloodied at 37.
Okay.
Though you don't need to tell me that.
Okay. I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Which makes it your turn again.
I reel back to get him with my scimitars.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, God bless this wonderful country. That's the first one is a 23.
All right.
Am I still at rolling disadvantage?
No.
Okay. 23, 21, and 20. Unnatural 20.
All three hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Hell yeah!
8,
8,
12.
12, so 20.
Oh my God. And 8 again.
Oh man, this bitch is getting wrecked.
28
So
damage total.
28 damage total. Yeah. So you go ahead and you swing out with your three strikes again. You've managed to figure out sort of how he tends to defend himself, though you're not sure if it's too little, too late. But you are striking rather effectively at him at this moment. You can tell that where he was apparently faking from before, at this point he is looking a little woozy. He's not operating on full capacity. Despite this, he goes ahead and he reaches out and strikes a multitude of times. The first one doing 15 points of damage, and the second one doing 6 for a total of 21, halved to 10.
Oh, well, there she goes.
Oh no.
Oh, are you down?
No, I'm at 11 now.
You're at 11.
Oh, okay.
All right. And you see him. He disappears into the puff of smoke and moves about 45 feet. Yeah, 45 feet away from you. No, wait. Hold on. Yes, 45 feet.
That is your movement.
I
Do it! Just do it!
I dash to him to attack him with my scimitars.
Okay. So your movement is 45?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and strike with your scimitars.
Wreck this bitch.
Oh no. First one is 13.
13.
Second one is 8.
No. No.
And last one is 17.
The 17 hits. Go ahead and roll the damage without your ability score modifier.
Yeah. Just a 3.
3.
I was so hopeful.
We came close, guys.
We got real fucking close.
Maybe he'll miss all of his attacks.
We
next
snorfed
turn.
it. We snorfed it real good.
Go ahead. He reaches out. For a total of... he goes ahead and he punches you once, twice, for a total of 17, halved to... 17 halved to 8. And then you see him, he disappears into the cloud of smoke, moving another 45 feet away from you and takes up that same defensive position, though this time it's looking like he's not really holding on too well. It is your turn.
Are you at 3 health?
Yes.
Come on. Oh, do it. Oh.
I believe in you. You have my believies.
I move the 45 feet again to slice him with my scimitars.
You're currently rolling with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh no. Oh, that's even worse.
Oh no.
That's a nat 1.
Oh.
Actually, I'm sorry. You are not rolling with disadvantage. My apologies.
Oh, okay. Then I mean it's not any better. Then it's not a nat 1. The first one was a 2, so it's a 6. Come on, baby, give me something to work with.
Wait, are you adding your proficiency bonus when you're like rolling to hit?
Yes.
Okay.
That first one, but it doesn't really matter because it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what did you get?
The second one was a 12. And the last one is a unnatural 20.
Natural 20? Unnatural 20 hits?
Unnatural.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I thought you said unnatural, and I was like, no.
Yes. Unnatural 20 does hit.
Okay.
But you are rolling without your ability score modifier.
Yep.
My friends like to say
5.
synthetic 20.
5.
A synth 20, a faux 20.
Artificial 20.
You go ahead and you reach out with your scimitars. One strike, he moves out of the way. Second strike, barely misses that one. And the third one, you go ahead and you take the scimitar and you just bring it like up the front of him, essentially uppercutting him with the scimitar. He's knocked backwards onto his back, and he sort of clambers away from you, disappears into the cloud of smoke, and is standing back up again. But he's got like a bloody nose. One of his eyes is like swollen shut. You can see that when he's like originally when he was standing like proud and strong. But at this point, he's like wavering. His hands aren't clenched until he's punching you. And he's just sitting there. You can see that blood is just running down his knuckles into the wrappings that he has. and he's not looking good. In any case,
Maybe you should just call it.
he takes 3 strikes at you.
I feel like neither of them want to concede.
Husani would absolutely not.
You see him go ahead, and I'm not even going to roll damage. You see him rear back onto his hind legs, leaps forward, and uses the exact same finishing move that he used on Godric on you. You see him rear back onto his hindquarters, rush forward, and you are suddenly knocked off of your feet, Husani, as the last thing you see is one fist brought up, and it knocks you unconscious.
I'm gonna go run and grab Bogo.
Oh.
You had him down to 13.
What?
Husani, you had him down to 13.
Oh.
So close.
That was so much better than I was expecting.
I know, I was expecting to get absolutely fucking decimated, and then we're going, I was like, okay.
You see him, after that just one punch, he brings his fist back, and he sees that Husani's just out. And he puts his fist down, he stands up. And you see him just like he cracks his neck, and you just hear... And he just holds it for a second, he's just like... Well fought. Though you can't hear any of this, you see him put something down next to Husani. It's hard to make out what in the dim light. Then he snaps his fingers. All the torches that were out just suddenly come back on.
Also, I'm pretty sure that we all have dark vision.
Yeah, but some of the humans in the room, the jock humans, don't.
Ah.
And he just and the lights come back up.
Okay, yeah, I'm running to go find Bogo.
All right.
And I am telling Anacrusis before I leave, please take care of Husani.
I go into the pit to heal Husani.
All right. As you drop down into the pit, Anidori, you're leaving. Anacrusis, when you drop down in the pit, he sees you, and he walks out of the pit.
Wait.
I call it a good job after him.
He sort of lazily puts up one hand just like this.
He also wait for Bogo because I fucked him up pretty good.
He doesn't seem to care that much. Battle scars. So he goes ahead and he just limps out of the pit. You see that he puts his arm around one of the human jocks, who then takes him off somewhere in the school.
I heal Husani for 15 damage.
Okay.
You heal for 15 damage.
Me too.
Just like Jordan casts Perception.
Stop.
Somebody take me out with a sniper.
Okay. Husani, there is a weight in your left hand that wasn't there when you were knocked unconscious.
I sit up slowly and gingerly and lift my left hand to look at what's in it.
Gingerly.
It appears to be.
Shut up.
It appears to be a rock with some sort of odd engraving on it.
What kind of rock?
Oh, is it a black rock?
Yeah.
It's not a black gemstone. No.
Oh.
Why did you guys get so excited?
Because those things are good and handy.
However, Husani, this is not a rock that you are familiar with. You've seen a few different kinds of rocks here and there. In fact, you can identify. Well, I'm just saying, it's not a rock regional to Kane, nor is it a rock regional to the Throne's Perch that you guys live in.
You've seen a rock or two here in your life.
Yeah. You've seen a few rocks.
I've been around the rock.
You can even identify a few kinds of rocks, but this one doesn't seem to be anything that you can tell. And the symbol on it is strange and possibly arcane, but it's hard to tell.
Somewhat. How did your fight with Zariel go, Husani? I got a rock.
You could say he rocked my world.
Oh my god.
Did I go get Bogo?
Yeah. You go ahead and you walk in. You can see the BOGO is, again, just face deep in a book. In fact, every time you come in here, you recognize it's actually the exact same book. And it's always the exact same page.
I'm just like,
You just
Bogo,
read one page.
Bogo, are you ever actually reading, or are you just hiding from everyone?
He sort of brings his face up over the book, and as soon as you say that,
No, don't do that. I actually need you. Zariel and Husani had a spar in the pit, and Husani's a little unconscious.
okay. And he sort of stands up, and he grabs his talisman, and he puts it on. He begins making his way downtown, walking fast, faces fast.
I will hold his hand because I know he likes that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lydian, where are you right now?
Good question. I was
Sulking with Kitty.
I was looking for Farron, and then I was looking for Anacrusis, and then I saw that everybody was in the pit, and I was like, for. So I probably just like went around and like took a walk around the school, waiting for that whole shindig to be over, because I don't want to deal with you guys, Anidori and Husani specifically.
A mood. Alright. I'm fucking staring at this fucking rock.
Actually, I'm probably going to make my way over to the arena now. It's been however long, seems like an appropriate time for a fight to take, so.
You go ahead and you're heading in as Zariel is leaving, and he just looks at you and he nods. You can tell that he's beaten bloody, but he's not dead. You can't actually tell who's won at this moment as you're heading down, because currently Husani is beaten, bloody, looks about as bad as Zariel.
Okay. I'm trying to like be kind of like on the like edge of the place so that those guys don't see me, but I'm just like, no, I'm too mad to care about this right now. And Farron's down there, right?
Farron is down there.
So like
watching, you can tell that he was, and anyone sitting next to him, he wasn't saying anything, but he was just sort of watching with this odd look on his face, almost of strange recognition.
Oh, I love this bean.
Okay, so I kind of like, I'm standing a little far away, and I message Farron. Hey, Farron.
He sort of looks around a little bit.
Hey.
Lydian?
God, is that you?
God. Farron, it's God, no.
Hey God, it's me, Farron.
Like, hey Farron, I need to talk to you. Can you come over here, like, out of the arena?
He looks around a little bit, then he sees you at the stairwell, and he goes,
No.
and he stands up, and he makes his way towards you.
You're like, no.
I love this stupid beat. Okay.
Oh, my son.
You stabbed him in the back.
Shut up. That wasn't my choice.
So he walks up to me. I'm like, so how did all that go?
Well, as far as I can tell, Husani lost, though I'm not sure that there are any winners in this moment. It seemed to be just oddly excruciatingly painful the whole way around.
Sounds about right. Yeah, about Husani. So, I have a problem, Farron.
Yes.
They're really mad at me, and I don't know why. And normally, I wouldn't care. I'm used to people being mad at me. But for some reason, Husani being mad at me makes me mad, and I don't know why, and I don't know what to do about it. And everybody else is pissing me off right now, so...
Have you asked her about it?
Them.
Them about it?
No, they're mad at me.
He just slowly blinks. That's not. No. I'm certain that perhaps asking is the best way to find out.
Okay, I don't know how things worked back when you were, but pretty sure in my professional opinion, my professional, very good at social things opinion, that's not a good idea.
He sort of smiles at you and he goes, "Then why did you ask me for advice?"
I don't know. Anyway, something else I wanted to ask you that, you might be a little more helpful with. So that devil, right?
Yes.
Do you have any way of knowing, like, where it would be, how we can find it? Because, pretty sure we don't want that thing running around, right?
That would be correct, yes. If it were to come within a decent distance from me, my talisman would alert me, but other than that, I have no idea on how to find it, no.
Great. Farron, I was thinking about something. So, you didn't see who released you and your roommates from your amulet, right?
I did not, no.
Do you know who could have done that, or why, or any sort of, like, idea about that?
I haven't the faintest. I'm
Right.
certain that whoever released them perhaps had a pact with one of them, or maybe could have information or a need for one of them to return, but...
Orkios, is that you?
But other than that, I have no idea who could have done it. In fact, I have no idea who could have gotten into that vault. After looking around, it appears that the only people who have access to it are, well, teachers.
Right.
Mm.
Pum, pum, pum.
It's a good thing, like, half the teachers were gone.
Indeed, they were. You can rule out anyone that was with you.
Right,
That's
so not Baldwin, Savon, Ergo...
No,
Madam
Baldwin
Ezra,
wasn't with us.
Baldwin was not with you.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
important
not-
because it was Baldwin! No, I'm just kidding.
Husani knew he couldn't be trusted.
So Ergo, Savon, Kitty, and Madam Ezra can all be ruled out.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. I kind of like cough and like awkwardly I'm like there for a second. I'm like, right. Good talk. That's how people talk to each other. All right. See you
And
later.
at that point, Anidori shows up with Bogo, probably.
Yeah. You can now see, coming from behind you, Anidori and Bogo. Anidori, as you walk down the stairs to the arena, you can see that Lydian and Farron are just having a nice, quaint conversation at the bottom of the stairs.
I'm like, it's nice that you're talking, but out of the way, I got a fistful of Furbolg and and a dog that needs healed.
A dog?
I like shrivel away from your voice.
I'm like, you need to talk to Husani, but after they're not unconscious.
And Farron goes, see, I told you.
I flip Anidori off and I glance at Farron like.
And so
I love him.
you all make your way around the corner, and Bogo is currently just looking over the scene, looking at all of the blood in the pit. And his face just sort of drops for a second, and he goes, "Oh dear." And he sort of makes his way over to the pit, and he runs over to you, Husani, and he goes, "Are you okay?"
I hurt in so many places, including my pride, kind of.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad are the physical injuries?
Rate your pain.
Like a 7.
It's like an overall score of 7, probably.
I would call it a 15 out of 74.
Just sort of reaches down and he places one hand on your abdomen, and there is this glowing golden and white energy that transfers from him over to you, and you can feel yourself being healed. You are back up to full.
Oh, what a good egg.
He's the best.
Yeah, no, and I'm gonna be like, Zariel wasn't looking too great either, but, and then I'm looking around for him. I don't know where he went.
He left.
Of course he did.
Do I need to go and try and find him?
Considering that he left, I don't think he cares that much, so no.
I think that it would be a good idea. This blood in the ring is not entirely mine, and I like to think that I did a pretty decent number on him as well.
Oh, you
I'll
did.
look for him. And you see him stand up. He goes, in his loudest voice, he goes, "Before I leave, is there anyone else that needs healing?"
I tentatively raise my hand.
He sort of looks over at you, and he places one hand like on top of your head, essentially palming your head. He'll back up to full.
Nice.
Thank you very much, Bogo. I really appreciate it.
I say thanks, Fogo, and I'm like, if I was tall enough, I would give you a little cheek kiss, but I'm not.
He sort of reaches down with two hands. He picks you up and he hugs you like a doll.
Oh!
He just pats you on the back and he sets you down. He goes, "I'm gonna go and find Zariel," and he goes.
Oh. I'm like, don't try too hard. And I'm like, congrats, Husani. That went pretty damn well.
You did quite the number on him. It was pretty touch and go as to who would win.
Yeah, considering this morning, I am thoroughly impressed.
Yes.
Yes?
So
Husani rolls her neck. I really needed to get some of that out of my system. That was fun though. I've not really done a fight without the threat of dying.
who are you talking to?
The group in general.
What did you say? Sorry, my brother was being a bitch.
That's what brothers do. Husani said, fuck. What did Husani say?
The gist of it was that it was fun and that it's exciting to fight without the risk of death.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I'm like, if y'all are good, I'm gonna go find Godric.
Go for it.
You can
Yeah.
go ahead and find Godric. I think I'm all right here, and I'm going to go see if I can find someone that knows what this rock is.
Can I look at the rock because I didn't see it earlier?
Sure. Anacrusis, you are now able to also see the rock. Lydian, you're not familiar with this kind of rock. However, Anidori and Anacrusis, go ahead and roll. Nature.
Nature. Okay, I can do that. I'm
That's
not very good at it.
Hell yeah.
10!
10. What did you get, Anacrusis?
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
I need,
Okay.
really want my rolls to
Just
like,
knows all
stop
the
being
things
good
today.
because this is the beginning of the session.
This is this is actually a piece of stone that is actually called dark steel, and essentially some of the stones can be melted, and the stone is actually stripped away, leaving, though a minute amount of it, a very a rather dangerous metal. Actually, it's prone to sometimes when weapons are made of it, it is used to spark electricity through the weapon. And in fact, if you enhance the dark steel or perhaps inlay it sometimes arcane runes, the effect can be amplified, and in some cases even to the point of making the effect like instantly lethal, or having the ability to like tase someone. But in any case, the rune on it isn't as familiar, but dark steel is only found in Darkos.
Is this just Anacrusis knowing this? I'm assuming with my 10, I didn't get that.
You've seen this kind of rock before, but you don't know that information.
Okay.
You probably know that it's called dark steel, but other than that.
Okay.
I relay that information.
Right. And it is most certainly a rock from Darkos.
Yeah, I'm like, that's from Darkos, which means that bitch is from Darkos, which...
It's from
that's...
it's from this.
And I like start talking about the information that I learned from the history check in the battle.
The shadow.
Yeah.
The shadow magic. Yes.
Husani gets a big grin on their face and like is rolling the rock around in their hand. So you're saying with this, I can make my swords tase people with lightning?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
that's the gist of it,
absolutely.
from
With
what I
your-
gathered.
Your natural 20, you'd need Anacrusis. You know that what Husani's talking about, you'd need a lot more dark steel, but that's enough to possibly enchant one weapon.
Oh. That's enough to enchant a weapon, but probably not like completely change your sword to it. You need a lot more.
Hit up your boy Xerix.
That is an excellent prize for a fight lost, in my opinion.
And I'm just like, I don't like the fact that he's from the same place as me.
And there is a symbol on it. Again, Anacrusis, Anidori. You can attempt to make a history check if you'd like. Anacrusis, you can make it with advantage because of your knowledge.
Hey, that's a 21 for my history check.
Nice.
Thank you for saying advantage because I just rolled a 1. I just rolled another 1.
Oh!
You just said
Okay, I
that
got a 21.
you cursed
so-
yourself, Elijah.
This appears to be a snippet of information that you're missing about the shadow magic group. However, Anidori, you've heard of certain tribes that live out in the forest, which is a rather dangerous lifestyle. However, they tend to rely on natural things as occasionally currency, sometimes as a symbol, and this rock is symbolic. It is the actual symbol on it is one of respect.
I'm like, he likes you. He gave you a rock of respect.
A respect rock.
A respect ruffle or something. I'm trying to come up with a pun. It didn't work.
Rockspect.
There you go. Thank you. I crit failed. Husani looks a little disappointed that this probably means they can't melt the rock down to do things with it. But I was also like, that's cool.
And I'm gonna be like, but also, this bitch was outside the forest.
Yeah, outside the walls, which is insanely deadly. There are
That's
tribes that live out there.
that's stupid and terrifying, and no wonder he's such a good fighter. Now that I think about it.
Are you
Yes.
thinking that he's less of an asshole now that we beat each other's teeth in, Anidori?
No, I'm just saying that his fighting skills are justified.
Yes.
They were very impressive.
Yes, they were.
Also, Anidori, Anacrusis, you understand that the Darkos Forest does not have deers and goats and other things that you
I've been through the Darkos Forest, bitch.
it's not oh, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my bow and I'm gonna go hunting for, like, I don't know, a deer. It's I'm going to strap on full plate mail. I'm going to take like a mounted ballista on a cart, and we're gonna go out with a team of 4 men to maybe go and find some food. If we can find something edible. If we come back and all 4 of us are still in one piece, that's a good hunt. So apparently he's also an expert hunter.
How
Maybe.
the fuck did I make it through the Darkos Forest?
That's a good question. But you saw some shit going through there.
Yeah. Hashtag PTSD.
Sheer luck.
Sheer luck is also
Sheer luck and vegetarianism.
that'll work too. Yeah,
Anacrusis.
Yeah,
being able
no,
to identify the plants that are poisonous and the plants that are not is probably helpful.
yeah. Yep, nope. So I'm just like, okay. Y'all have fun. Husani, you should talk to Lydian. He's down at the stairs.
Husani's like was like kind of like grinning and looked really relaxed before and like chill, and now suddenly they like go tense and they're like, oh.
He gave me back his soul. He's not being as much of an asshole. You should talk. Farron's also there, but I know you can't really talk to him, so I'm not sure how much that'll help. Anacrusis, why don't you help?
I don't think I need Anacrusis' help.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is a situation that I am well suited for.
That's fair. I'm out of here.
So, Anidori, you all see Anidori go ahead and she heads out, probably to go and find Godric. As for right now, Husani, Lydian, Anacrusis, and Farron are currently all just gathered in one little circle. Awkwardly exchanging glances.
I'm like kicking the dirt and I like mutter quietly to myself, I can tase things with lightning without a sword.
I mean, so can I.
Fuck all y'all spellcasters. I'm doing my best here. I set myself on fire daily. Husani stands and pockets the rock and then looks at Lydian looking distinctly uncomfortable for a 7'2" dog
Jackal person.
Jackal person. We should talk, Lydian.
I
really
try to
quick-
say something. It just comes out as like a strangled like squeak, and I cough.
We need to talk.
Really quick before you guys go have your conversation. Husani, did you ever get your jewelry back from Anidori before she left?
Yeah.
Freezes.
Well,
Yeah,
would
you
you
can- yes, I would have given it back to you. I'm not I don't steal from my friends unless they really deserve it. And also Lydian wasn't my friend at the time.
Okay, fair. Also, I'm like shooting Anacrusis a like terrified look, like don't leave me here. Don't leave me here alone. Save me.
I do the message thing to him and say, "You'll be fine, and I'll be here for you when you finish your talk."
Fucking hate you.
Today is not Lydian's day in terms of talking.
You can't respond to that either, so you'd have to say that out loud.
I messaged that to you. Fucking hate you. You're like 2 feet away from me.
Oh my god.
First you got tackled, now you have to talk to your crush.
Is Farron still standing around too?
Yes.
So Anacrusis, did you eat?
We ate before we came, but I
No,
Yeet.
yeet. I
Did you eat? By the way, how hungry are you right now?
Anyway, in Infernal
Make
before
a
I leave.
hunt roll.
Make a con save.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
In Infernal before I leave, I go, hey Farron, we should leave these two to have a conversation. So, you want to go sit in the
Don't leave
courtyard,
me.
maybe?
Farron.
He nods and he follows Anacrusis.
Farron, you're dead to me. I say that. Pitifully.
In common?
And infernal.
Farron sort of stops and he looks at you and he goes, "I'm going to ignore that because I know you don't mean it."
I love this beard.
So you guys head out.
Husani is. Fuck, I did not plan this at all.
2 beans chilling in the sand pit, 5 feet apart, cause they're not gay.
Because they're very gay.
We're
I was about to
very
say,
gay.
are they?
I'm kind of like standing there, like staring at my feet. I'm like, so, voice crack. You punched. Good. I mean, I didn't actually see it, but I assume you did, even though you were on the ground. And oh my god, I'm talking and there are words coming out of my mouth, and I'm gonna stop now.
Husani like giggles a little and then looks mad that they laughed and like looks away and then is like, yes, I punched Zariel several times in various parts of his body very hard.
Whoa, you can punch real good. You've
Exactly.
lasted longer than I thought you would.
Wow, that's
Hate
such a
musical
summary for
nerds.
this.
Get back to fucking the roleplay.
I don't want to be alive.
Husani is like, look, Lydian. Anidori talked to me.
Of course she did that, bitch. my awkwardness drops for a second to insult Anidori.
Husani's ears pin back and they look a little pissed. Anidori is a friend. And a good one. And they're trying to help you, and you're not helping yourself right now.
Wins.
You had their soul. You had her soul, Lydian.
Yep, that's definitely a thing that I had to say when we were with what's his name? Thamus? Yep.
Wait,
What?
what did you say? That's the thing I had to save?
That's definitely a thing that I said that I had when I was with Thamus, when we were with Thamus. Yep.
And is it an incorrect thing?
Maybe. What's it to you, though?
Like, Xerix has informed me that my feelings regarding the group are those of friendship. And
Who is
Friend.
shuffling?
Yeah, it's not me.
not me.
It might have been me, sorry.
And friends do not take each other's souls. That is, to own someone's soul is to own them as a person.
I mean, not really. She told you why I bought it, I'm assuming.
I did.
Yes. Well, I didn't know that this morning, and all I knew was that you owned Anidori's soul. And you were trying to hide that fact.
You know, don't tell anyone this, but I've also been, having those friendship feelings. And I don't know, I just thought, I don't know, you don't want your friend's soul to be with the devil, right? Especially when they're sobbing uncontrollably in front of your face and it's very uncomfortable.
Yes, that is a thing that you would not want your friend to be doing. I'm sorry that I compared you to Baldwin this morning. And that I yelled at you and didn't ask you why you would do that. I should have trusted you more. I do trust you more than that.
You know, in like anime where like they have like the steam coming out of like their ears and they like get all red. That's
Yeah.
Lydian right now.
All good sentences start with, in anime when
Yes.
You know in anime when they have giant separable shears?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Right. Yeah. Cool. So you're not mad at
No, I'm not mad at you anymore. Or I don't think I ever really was. I was scared.
kind of like I'm like looking at you like you're like a 7 foot tall like like doggo person. Like you were scared. I don't say that though. Like
I know
I'm just like
it seems ridiculous, especially considering the things that I can do and the fight I just had. But I've worked hard to learn to defend myself. And it frightens me that your group has gotten so close to me so quickly. I have not let anyone this close in a while. I shouldn't even be telling you this. I don't know why I am.
maybe that's what friends do. Not that I would know. Kind of a new thing for me, also.
I think that's exactly what friends do. You're adorable. I'm having feelings.
Y'all see me dying over here?
Yes, I see you. I'm reading you. Alright. Husani, like, coughs and is, like, uncomfortable now with the
I
air.
can't hear you. Someone is shuffling.
Who's
Okay.
the shuffler? Husani coughs and, like, rubs the back of their head with their palm. Well, we should go find the others, I guess?
Yeah, sure. Right. This pit is gross and bloody and yeah.
You can actually see from where you are, the pit appears to, the sands have been shifting, and it appears to have self-cleaned.
Oh.
Nice. That's very handy.
You have no idea where the blood's, but
Something nefarious.
Somewhere.
Kitty's using it to do something.
probably actually. Anacrusis and Farron, where did you guys go?
We're just sitting in the courtyard.
Okay.
The courtyard with
chillin'.
Xerix.
Like, not like in the area with Xerix, but like that
Yeah,
area. Yeah.
Jordan, I literally thought you said ferrets. I was confused.
There are 4 dozen ferrets around us.
This is my friend Ferrets.
As you're walking through the courtyard, Farron's just taking his hand and like brushing it along patches of flowers. And he seems rather intrigued by the fact that flowers are a thing.
Oh God, I love him so much.
What a good feed.
You do you like those flowers?
They're beautiful. Yes, I do. Very interesting. Different shapes, different sizes, different colors.
Did you not have flowers back then?
His face sort of drops and goes, "The world was a much different place back then."
I like nod solemnly and don't ask them for information. I go to immediately change the subject because I feel bad that I just like am sad. So how are you liking it here?
The college is wonderful. It's beautiful, and
You should ask if he's been taking classes.
Why are
I
you
know-
all so obsessed
No.
with taking classes?
Learning things is good.
I like being the big dumb jock.
It must be strange being just thrown into a new world like this.
yes, very. But I like to think that I'm getting along well. I hope.
You seem to be. Have you picked up on any more common sense being around us?
Here and there, yes. He sort of smiles to himself.
It's not an easy language to learn.
No, it's not. But and don't tell the others. I want it to be a surprise. But I've actually been I've been taking from Bogo. He's been teaching me some content. Wanted to show the group what I can do. Probably in about a month.
Of course I won't say anything. I look forward to hearing it. I like give him a smile.
Husani and Farron can have a conversation.
This is the first time we've really like talked, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose so. Aside from a little side chatter here and there.
Of course.
You seem very interesting.
I'm sorry. I couldn't understand you.
He says, "You seem very interesting."
Thank you. I appreciate that. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'll answer them to the best I can.
Tell me about yourself.
I mean, what is there to know? I'm a tiefling. I grew up in...
Who is shuffling?
Sorry, I have papers I have to move. I'm a tiefling. I learned magic from my mother. There's just really not much to me, I guess. I kind of look away a little bit.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
He sort of
Insight.
he sort of looks at you, and he almost reaches out to put a hand on your shoulder, but he just takes the hand back and he closes his mouth and he went, "Very well. And he turns around and you see him messing with some of the flowers, and he takes one of them and he turns back to you and he goes, "Do these make you feel better?"
My heart.
I give him a really small, sad smile and say, "Yes, thank you." And I put it behind my ear.
Are there flowers where you come from?
Yeah, there were some. Someone I used to know used to to plant them in our house. I trail off a little bit.
You're making a real depresso espresso.
Well, one thing I've learned in my time now being here, I suppose, is that you... And his face kind of goes serious for a second. He goes, "You can't let your past haunt your present. It's unhealthy. You have to keep moving forward, because if you stop, then you'll let your past catch up to you, which can be dangerous sometimes. I know that I'm an old man with old man advice, but I think that I'm doing well for myself now that I've taken up that mantle of letting go."
I thought you meant the old man mantle.
I refuse to look at him and I go, I know you're right. I'll try to be better about it.
He nods. At this point, everyone else rounds into the courtyard, aside from Anidori, that is.
I immediately put on a face of I'm completely okay right now. Oh, hello you two. How was your chat?
I cough in character.
Husani smiles and their tail wags gently, and they're like,
Oh,
"It was a pretty good chat, I think. I think that we've worked some things out, right, Lydian?"
voice crack. Yep, we talked about things and we said words and yep.
I'm glad. I hate to see friends thing.
This is all in common, I'm assuming.
Yes, Farron occasionally had one of his pointed ears were kind of perk up a little bit at certain words, but it's nothing that's oh, he can understand. It's maybe he's catching a few words here and there.
In Infernal, I go, they talked it out and made up.
He sort of nods and he grins.
What do you mean?
I'm Ed.
I stand one man.
I
Does he
stand
speak
several
Abyssal?
mans in this campaign.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut over to you, Anidori.
Cool.
So you're walking through the town down to the marketplace where Godric told you to meet him.
Yeet.
You go.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for anyone to steal from.
Okay. Are you making a check? Are you actually?
I mean, I'm just like anyone who looks like they'd be an easy snatch.
Okay. Are you looking for something easy or something valuable?
Easy. I don't really want to get caught right before meeting my boyfriend.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check or an investigation check.
Okay, that's a 10.
10. It's not too difficult to spot. You can see that there is this. There's this guy walking around with a coin purse on his side, right where you would hope that it would be.
Beautiful.
So go ahead and make your 3 checks, depending on what you're doing. How are you stealing it?
Just bumping into him, apologizing, so stealth sleight of hand performance.
All right, go ahead. Stealth check.
Yep. 13. Whew, that could have been...
Sleight of hand.
Stop rolling off my goddamn die. Or the platform. 23.
3 and performance.
11.
11. All right. You do your typical walk up, bump, snag, and go. And it's pretty simple. You go ahead and you get it. He is none the wiser. However, looking into the coin purse, there's probably only about 15 gold in there.
15's better than nothing. I'll take it.
You continue on through the marketplace here and there until suddenly, almost out of nowhere, you get tapped on the shoulder and you turn around and boom, Godric.
I give him a little grin and a thumbs up.
He goes, I was looking for you.
Yeah, fight took longer than I was expecting.
Don't worry about that. But I will say, I have a surprise for you.
I kind of narrow my eyes in a oh-ho-ho manner.
Oh.
I found a shop that I think that you'll be interested in.
All right. Do you want to hear how the fight went, or do you want to show me to the shop first?
How'd the fight go?
Well, Husani lost, but they did a pretty good number on him.
He just sort of nods. He smiles and he goes, well, the shop's this way. And he sort of takes you off from the crowd, leading you towards what looks like a small back alley, to which he turns around and he looks at you and he puts both of his hands up and he goes, all right, give me your hand.
I give him my hand. And I'm like, do I have to close my eyes?
You do.
I close my eyes.
You walk for a little while until finally you feel Godric turn to the left and he opens up. You hear him open up a door. And you walk in and he closes the door behind him. And he goes, all right, open your eyes.
I open them.
You can see standing there in the middle of this rundown appears to be the Gilded Devil holding on to the nape of Godric's neck. Godric looks beaten and bloody and bruised. And you take 27 points of bludgeoning damage from behind you as the Godric behind you pummels the back of your head.
Oh, no! Good thing I got healed. 27, you said?
27. And you are knocked prone.
Okay.
I was already for this to be a cute little moment. Nope.
I literally hadn't. That was not expected, and I should have expected because it's Tate. It's Tate.
It's Tate.
Okay.
Why would he just write like a cute little thing for no reason? Something bad. Tate.
Fuck! I can't believe you've done this.
Oh, this is really sweet.
I can absolutely believe he's done this though.
I mean, I can, but like
the Gilded Devil goes ahead and drops Godric and walks up to you and grabs you by your cheeks, creates the mace, and goes, I'm not going to kill you now. However, I have something that I need from you, and you are not unconscious.
don't like that one bit, no sir. Okay.
Oh man, somebody's gonna be pissed. They were just having a good day. They didn't fight. It was all going great.
Guys, if I come back to the college, please be suspicious.
Suspicious.
We
No,
won't have any reason to be in character.
No,
I know.
No, Anidori, we're not gonna be suspicious at all.
I'm so. God damn you.
So how far is that range on Bayron's little thing?
You have no idea.
Clearly not
damn.
far enough.
Yeah, you know. Also, I can't believe Bayron fucking, like, read me for filth.
He's a smart dude.
You seem to, like, be a fucking idiot who lets shit from your past dictate how you act now, and that's not fucking great. Thanks, Bayron. I lied to you. I'm not gonna change.
It's okay. I have revenge to work through before I can stop letting my past dictate things for me.
I just have to, like, learn how to love myself a little bit.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah,
bit,
you
know?
do.
Husani's whole story arc is they're trying not to let their past dictate what they're doing now.
Lydian's not trying to fight it. He's absolutely letting his past dictate.
Anidori's just running away from her past until it catches up to her.
Basically what Anacrusis is doing, but it's, like, catching up to her in, like, a mental capacity.
Yeah. Anidori's like, la la la, as long as I don't think about it, I don't have to worry about it. Until we inevitably go back to Darkos at some point.
Yeah. Oof. That's gonna be really bad for Anacrusis.
It's gonna be really bad for Anacrusis and Anidori.
We're both gonna be like, I need to go to this town, and I need to go to this specific place.
I mean, oh no. Anidori's gonna be like, I need to not go to this town.
Oh no, as soon as we're gonna go to Darkos, Anacrusis is gonna be like, I have to go see her again.
And
then,
I mean, Anidori lived in the capital, so...
Anacrusis did not.
Husani J chilling right now.
You know, Anidori's gonna be like, we can totally go there. Let's not go to the capital, okay? Sounds great.
Anacrusis would be like, I would much prefer it if you weren't there with me.
Okay, as long as we don't go to the capital, I'll just chill outside the town.
Oh, what? You're not gonna follow Anacrusis with your tracking, whatever.
Oh yeah, actually, I mean, I will use the tracking spell to see where she goes, but like,
It's fucking rude. All she's doing is visiting the grave of her dead lover.
Damn.
Dead almost fiance, but you know, sometimes your fiance gets executed right in front of you before you could ask them to marry you.
it'd be that way sometimes.
It really do be that way sometimes.
If you're Anacrusis, it'd be that way. I don't like how much Tate is writing down.
Yeah, how are you doing over there plotting our demise?
Just give me a second.
No.
Destroy their
Also-
emotions and plot device.
Elijah, this would be a good time for you to go get food.
Ah,
I already did, that's why I was shuffling earlier.
Oh!
good for you. Look
I
at
had
you
a
eating.
donut and a Twinkie.
I don't know that
now
counts as
now
food.
is a good time for you to go get actual food.
Actual food, yes.
Elijah.
Elijah! And Peggy!
And Jiggy.
Anyway,
And Jiggy!
I have texted you what she tells you.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
God.
That's never good.
That's like the worst thing you could have said after that.
DM texts you individually.
To
Are
which
you okay with torture? Tate texts me.
to which she grabs Godric by the back of the hair and says, "You have 24 hours," and tells you where to find her and kicks you out.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm still reading this over.
Oh my god.
It's fine. There's a bit of information in there. It's fine.